But speaking of movies, since this is a movie channel, um, I wonder what you guys think about Spider-Man. Right, Spider-Man: No Way Home. I'm actually extremely excited for Spider-Man. No Way Home. I think this might be the best Spider-Man that's come out in what 20 years since the last one came out. Since no, not. I mean, the last good Spider-Man movie that I saw was Spider-Man 2. Wasn't really a fan of the Amazing Spider-Mans, like at all. And Homecoming was cool. Um, and then No Way Far From Home was dope. Was dope. Um, and No Way Home seems to just go balls out with everything, like the multiverse and stuff like that. And we've been hearing rumors of some appearances, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to stay away from all the trailers and all the rumors because there's a lot going on, and I think Hollywood is even noticing that. Okay, too many people are like talking about this movie, and we don't want to ruin it for people. So let's just not show them everything until the movie comes out, and I think that makes sense. But this is what my sort of concern is. Um, I'm concerned about the lasting effect of the legacy of this new trilogy of Spider-Man movies. I mean, like the Homecoming trilogy, mostly because of the iterations it has with the MCU catalog. What I mean by that is, like, take the Raimi trilogy, like Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, like with Tobey Maguire and all that kind of stuff. When the first Spider-Man came out, it was unlike anything we've ever seen. I mean, we've had like X-Men movies and stuff like that, but Spider-Man was something that was it broke a lot of ground, and just set precedent to what was to come. And one of the things that I liked about it the most, having watched all three and grown up on it and stuff, what I realized is that it really is its own thing. It really brought its own thing to the table. It really is its own beast. And not to mention, you have Raimi, who is just amazing as a director. All of his style of directing and just his vision for it, all of that can be tied into those movies as its own thing. And you can see all of the freedom that he was able to do with those movies. Now, granted, not all of them were good. Spider-Man 3 gets a lot of flack. I think more than it deserves to. But if I'm just being frank with you, the Spider-Man trilogy was amazing. And I think when it comes up in conversations of like Marvel movies and superhero movies and stuff like that, it's I think we're able to take that as its separate entity and say this is the greatest Spider-Man movie of all time. And what I find myself in conflict mostly because of the the connection that it has with the other MCU films. If you guys know what I mean, like take the first movie for instance. Movie was about Peter Parker and his thing with the Vulture. Great, but it's it has Iron Man kind of dipping in and out, and I guess that's cool because they were still kind of setting up for the Avengers and stuff like that. But it's like I don't know. It's hard for me to explain. Like when Civil War happened, like the Captain American movies. Like I think there's a reason why Captain America: Winter Soldier is known as like the best Captain America movie of all time because that was purely solely about Captain America. That was its own separate movie. That was his own, like the solo movie of the Captain America character, was done, true and true. Yeah, they had Easter eggs in there and stuff like that, but ultimately it was solely about Captain America. And when Civil War happened, I I did find myself enjoying Civil War a lot more. However, even though they did a good job with showing putting Captain America at the forefront of that movie, Civil War felt like an Avengers movie. But I had a lot of fun with that. Like Black Panther was awesome, and that there's just that little clash between all the superheroes. It was dope, but it felt more like an Avengers movie instead of a Captain America movie. But they did a good job with like balancing it all. But still, it was like I think there's a reason why people enjoy Winter Soldier more, or they hold Winter Soldier here and Civil War like kind of here, like kind of there. You know what I mean? Because it's MCU all over the place with Civil War and Winter Soldier. It takes its time with just showing Steve Rogers and his conflicts and leaving kind of everything else in the back burner because this is his movie. With the Spider-Man movies, with the Spider-Man trilogy, the Homecoming trilogy, I don't think Peter Parker really in this version, like Tom Holland's Peter Parker, I don't think he solely had a movie with just him kind of going through shit. I mean, Homecoming, he kind of had that, but it was mostly rooted with, or it just kept on involving the influence of Iron Man. And yeah, you can say, well, it's because he was trying to learn to deal. It's like, that's not my point. Spider-Man, from the way I grew up, learned all this stuff on his own. And I still enjoy the movies. It's just, I can't find myself liking Homecoming more than Spider-Man 1, directed by Sam Raimi, because, that's solely about Peter Parker's journey and Spider-Man's journey throughout that whole thing. Homecoming, it's about his journey, but with the help of Iron Man. And I can't find myself, seeing this solo film as a true solo movie on Spider-Man because Iron Man is right there. It's the Iron Man Spider-Man show, but I still enjoyed the movie. Spider-Man Far From Home, they really did try to, keep it solely on him for the majority of it all. But then when you have Nick Fury kind of coming in there and, well, let me be fair. Far From Home, they did try to keep it on him. And I think that was cool. I think that was cool for the most part. Did I enjoy it as much as Spider-Man Homecoming? Not really, but even still, I think that's safe to say that was as solo as it can. It's just I think Happy was a little bit too involved with that. I think Happy and Iron Man's team. You got Nick Fury and Happy kind of all in there, and it's like you just let Peter Parker just do his thing without bringing characters from the MCU in this thing, and you know what I mean. But I still enjoyed the movie. Now, No Way Home, obviously, we all know the rumors, whether they're true or not. I don't care. The thing of it is that it's still closely tied to the MCU, especially when you're involving characters like Doctor Strange. It's like, bruh. Now, look, I don't have a problem with what they're trying to do with it. I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's going to be probably one of the best Spider-Man movies I've ever seen. But like I said before, I find myself in conflict in calling it a Spider-Man movie because it's still tied to the Avengers in some kind of way. I mean, Doctor Strange plays a huge role in this movie throughout the entire film, as far as the trailers show us. So it's not like Spider-Man is going to be kind of. I mean, he's going to have his journey and stuff. But my concern is that when this is all one and done, I'm curious about how the Homecoming trilogy is going to draw out its legacy in contrast with Raimi's trilogy. Because the characters of Peter Parker, these two characters of Peter Parker are vastly different. But I find myself enjoying the ride of Tobey Maguire's more than I did with Tom Holland. I still think Tom Holland is a better version of Peter Parker and all that kind of stuff. But he's just so tied closely to the MCU. And if everything we're seeing is true as far as these rumors go for No Way Home, I can't fine. I feel like it's still gonna feel like an Avengers movie because they're hiding a lot of secrets, and I'm pretty sure that the rumors of like Tom and not Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, if those rumors are true, okay, fine. But I know the formula in which Marvel kind of does now when it comes to the TV shows and movies. They're gonna have huge Easter eggs, and I haven't been watching their shows on Disney Plus, but I know that they are introducing a lot of stuff to intertwine it all for the climax of this new phase that they're doing. And if this movie is going to have a lot of those Easter eggs and a lot of those, MCU cameos and all that kind of stuff, that's great. But I'd be lying if I said I would feel the same way as the way I felt about Civil War. Like, it's going to feel like an Avengers movie and not a Captain America movie. This is going to feel like an Avengers movie and not like a Spider-Man movie. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm not worried about it. I just had it on my mind. Like, I'm curious about how this is going to go down in history. Like, what's the best Spider-Man trilogy of all time? Is it the Homecoming Trilogy or the Sam Raimi trilogy? And some people might say it's the Homecoming Trilogy just because, Kevin Feige has been killing it. And the MCU's legacy, with 10 years of just nonstop awesomeness, it's like, how can we compete with that? You know? But it's like it's I don't know. It's just I really wished that Tom Holland really got his movie, solely just about him, and like I wish they would have a solo movie and just kind of leave the MCU kind of like on the back burner for once. They haven't done that ever since the very first phase when we had the Iron Man 1 and 2, the Thor and the Incredible Hulk and the first Captain America, and even with the second Captain America. Ever since the Avengers kind of took off and we kind of saw them where they were, every solo movie just has to involve some sort of cameo from another movie or a cameo from the Avengers or whatever, and I feel like it just takes away from the pure solo journey of this one character. It kind of feels like a distraction almost. Because it's supposed to be a movie about this character, not like an ensemble. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I mean, tell me what you guys think in the comments. I could be off my rocker. I could be crazy. I'm not. Not excited about Spider-Man No Way Home. I can't wait to fucking see that movie. I mean, are you kidding me? Those trailers were looking awesome, and I'm trying to steer away from all of the rumors. But just let me guys know what you guys think in the comments. If I'm crazy, call me crazy. If I'm not, let me know if you guys can if you can relate to if anything else, if I'm saying, if I'm making any kind of sense at all. Let me know. Just let me know you guys' thoughts.